Hello and welcome to another session of FitEssentials Basics. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class. Those of you that were here, I already mentioned it, but if you have a broomstick, PVC stick, and like a long TheraBand, we're going to be utilizing those today. Otherwise, let's go ahead and come on up to your feet. We'll start with our spinal cord breathing. Go ahead and walk your feet in, toes pointing straight ahead. You're going to think about standing up nice and tall out of your hips. As you breathe in, circle your arms around. Bring your forearms together, palms together. And then as you exhale, we're going to gently round ourselves into a little ball, tucking the hips under, bowing your head down. On the inhale, now we're going to lift our chest. Gently look up towards the sky. Divide those arms. Pull the shoulders back and down and engage your glute to not overarch the back. That's our rhythm now. On the exhale, you're going to tuck it back under. Blow the air out a little bit longer than your normal exhale. Try to pause in between breaths and then find your rhythm. We're going to spend about another 30 to 45 seconds here. Breathing in, open. Exhale, close. And it's called spinal cord breathing because that's what we're focused on. Warming up that spine as we breathe. Try to turn the head gently up towards the ceiling or sky as you open. Exhale, bow the head down, turn the chin in. Maybe one more cycle here. Beautiful, everyone. Good. As you finish this last exhale, go ahead and relax the arms down to your thighs and gently bring yourself back up to standing. Very good. Walk your feet just a little bit wider. And now we're going to go into some shoulder rolls. So you're going to bring the shoulders up and into the ears. Feel free to kind of bring the elbows and arms into it. And then you're going to think about sending those shoulders back and down. So circling up and or down, alternating which arm comes on top. And I have just a little bend in my legs. So making sure you're not hyperextended through that lower body. Good. One or two more here. Open, relax, open, and relax. Fantastic. Go ahead and reset those feet, shake those arms out to the sides. And next, we're going to go into our little torso rotations here. Call it like tree limb arms to start here. Just let those arms be nice and heavy, gently rotating, gliding them away from the body. And then we'll move into what they call knocking on the doors of life. So you're going to let the elbows start to bend. Let the hands gently tap the front of the torso, just in front of the hips and the low back. See if you can sync your breathing so that as your arms gently tap against your torso, you exhale. Good. And I'm not so much turning my head with this one, mostly looking forward and letting kind of my shoulders and my hips rotate around my spine. Good. Couple more. And then we're going to think about just going back to the arms away from the body. Couple more rotations there. And then just imagine nice and slow, we're going to bring ourselves to a stop. Very good. All right, fantastic. Go ahead and walk the feet in. Feel free here if you want to balance onto something. I'm going to grab my chair. We're going to go into some ankle rolls. Also, if you've been on your feet a lot already today, if you want to sit down for this next portion, you can. Otherwise, you can practice a little bit of balance throughout. So balancing, lifting one foot up, and we're looking to roll that ankle around. So lift the toes, twirl that foot around. If you're balancing on one foot, or even if you're sitting here, we don't want to drop into that hip. So continuously lifting up through the hips and torso. Switch directions with that ankle. Point the toes, lift the toes, and circling them around. Very good. Rest that foot down, whether you're seated or standing, hands on the hips, and some little hip circles here. You can even do these seated in your chair, circling around. Good. So about 5 times one way. There you go. And about 5 times the other. Great time to smile. Sometimes the hip circles feel a little bit funny. So just laugh. Send some happy hormones into your body. Good job. And come on back to center. Lifting up. Balance as needed. And same thing, other foot. Twirl that ankle around, point the toes, lift the toes, nice big circles. You can think about kind of wiggling the toes as you move. Wonderful. And switch directions when you're ready, staying supported nice and strong out of that support hip. Beautiful. And go ahead and set that foot down and relax. All right, I'm just gonna make a little bit more space here. We're gonna go into our hip flexor opening next. So let's step your right foot forward and left foot back, keeping your feet about hip width apart. You're gonna go hands on the shoulders or up to overhead, your choice. I'm gonna demo from the shoulders. Lift up out of the hips. Gently think about shifting your hip forward, trying to squeeze the glute of that trail leg. So you can shift it back, shift it forward, trying to wake it up. And now turn your body. So you're gonna look over your right shoulder, turning the head and neck. And then we'll come back to center. Shift the hip back, lifting up, shift yet back hip forward. Standing tall out of your spine, turning once again, looking over your right shoulder. Good job. Last time here. Rock that left hip back, rock it forward, and squeeze that glute as you turn the head and neck. Good job. Come back to center, relax those arms down, and then we're going to go same thing other side. So now left foot steps forward, standing tall as you step that right foot back, cross those arms up over the chest, lifting up out of the spine. We're going to get that hip rock first. So shift it forward, squeezing that glute of that trail leg. And then when you're ready, gently turn the torso towards your left. Head as well. Good. Pausing there. When you're ready, back to center. Twice more. Rock that hip back. Lifting tall, rock it forward. Squeeze the bum and turn the head and neck. Beautiful, crew. Rock it back. Lifting up, rock it forward, and gently rotate. Very good. Last one. Go ahead and lower those arms down, shake it out, and let's grab a quick drink. All right, we're going to go into our first series next, working on some balance with our sway, alternating reverse giant step. If anybody here is proficient with lunging, you're welcome to lunge. And then some cross crawl patterns. And this is the last exercise where you're going to grab your band or your broomstick PVC for some shoulder openers. We're going to work for 45 seconds. Feel free to shorten that as needed. We're going to rest for about 15 in between movements. So first exercise is our sway. Set your feet about hip width apart, lifting up. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulders back and down. And then when you're ready, you're going to sway your body weight over to one side of the body. You can lift up on one leg if you feel comfortable, and then down and across. Same thing other side. So we're just practicing switching sides, changing momentum, and then you determine based upon your confidence here if you go onto one leg support, or you can just kind of point the toe and come off of that one leg from a full support. Beautiful. Up and lift. That's 30 seconds. Anytime you need those arms to take a break, feel free to drop them down. In between sides is kind of a great time to drop them down and lift it up. You kind of pretend you feel like a dancer. I was never a dancer, but my mom always wanted my sister and I to be dancers. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, that's our 45 seconds. We'll take 15, and now we're going to do our reverse giant steps. So we're going to walk our feet in so the toes are pointing straight ahead. Standing nice and tall. When you're ready, pick a side. You're going to step back just a little bit farther than you normally would, and then emphasize extending through the hip of the front leg. As I reach back, I'm going to reach my arms up and out to help a counterbalance, relaxing down as I step forward. And that's our rhythm. As I'm stepping forward, I'm really emphasizing pushing that heel down of that front leg, and think about standing tall, kind of lift and open through the hips. Beautiful. Back and up and open. Good. That's 30 seconds. If you want to take a little bit longer rest in between movements, feel free to rest there. Step it back, up and forward. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Good. Heel planted, shin neutral or shin parallel, and rest. Great job, everyone. Go into our cross crawl pattern next. Standing nice and tall, arms are going to be long, and we're going to go left arm towards the right leg, right arm towards the left leg. Nice and control. legs need to be your feet and reach across to the opposite side. You have a little bit more tracked leg, left leg to the right. Good. 3, 2, 1, and go ahead and rest. All right, shake out those arms. If you have that broomstick around or a long band, we're going to grab that. We're going to take a nice wide grip. All right. And when you're ready, we're going to reach it up in front of the body, bringing it up to overhead. And we're just using this as a little bit of an opener here. Once you get it up overhead, rotate your body side to side a little bit. Good. Bringing it back down. And we'll do it once again, bringing it up. If you're comfortable to do so, bring it down behind the back of the head, or if that doesn't feel good on your body, bring it in front. But if you can bring it down behind, okay, you can stay standing or take a seat. And now we're going to look to just open the shoulders with some up and down presses here behind the head. Good. Very nice. Opening the chest, lifting up, reaching up. Maybe one more here. And go ahead and rest. All right, very nice. We're going to take 30 seconds, and then we're going to do that series one more time through, starting back with that sway. Let's grab a little drink. Wonderful. All right, 10 seconds till we start set 2. If you're someone that tends to get pretty tense in your upper body, keep the arms down lower as you sway. It'll feel a little bit different, but you kind of take the tension off the head and neck. 2, 1, here we go. Lifting up, shifting to the side, pushing that big toe down, and then up and across. Very good. If you want those broader arms, you can kind of reach down, reach up and across. Yes. That's our first 15 seconds. We're going to work for about 45. And ideally, as you come across the other side, practice pausing there on that one leg, or mostly on that one leg, holding for 2 to 3 seconds. Good. 30 seconds in. Fantastic. I feel like Peter Pan or Tinkerbell, fly away off the mat. Good. Last one, 2, 1, and shake it out. Wonderful. Reverse giant step is next. Standing nice and tall. Walking those feet in so the toes are pointing straight ahead. When you're ready, we're going to reach the arms up, stepping one foot back. Notice my front heel is planted. Shin is vertical. So you don't want to have that knee shooting forward. Make sure you keep that weight back, and then you push that front heel down to extend that leg. Reach it back, reaching forward, up and open. Good. Back and up. Fantastic. Think long neck as you reach those arms forward. So keeping those shoulders down. Sometimes we tend to shrug those shoulders up and into the ears. Good. 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Cross crawl pattern is next. And anytime you need to take a seat, you can also do this cross crawl pattern seated, knee to the opposite elbow here. So I know a lot of you spend a lot of time on your feet in the morning, so feel free to switch it up. Otherwise, 2, 1, here we go. Left hand to the right leg, right hand to the left leg. Still imagining we're those marionette puppets pulling ourselves up towards the ceiling. I was a big fan of Sound of Music as a kid. One of my favorite scenes was when they did that puppet show and they brought out those marionette puppets. They had their arms and legs kind of dancing around. So that's what I think about when I'm teaching these exercises and working on my own balance. Imagine just everything lifts up away from gravity. All right, maybe one more, and 2, 1, and shake it out. All right, grab your broomstick, PVC pipe, long band, whatever you have available. All right, a little bit different variation this time. We're going to bring it up. You can either keep it overhead or bring it down to your shoulders, your choice. From here, we're going to either on the shoulders or overhead, some side bends. So lengthen that long side of the body. Breathing in, come back to center, then same thing other side, a little side bend here. Stay rooted down through your legs here, gripping those toes. Let's go one more each side, up and down. If you're comfortable to do so, kind of peer up towards the ceiling. Last one, coming up to center, and then down to the other side again. If you're comfortable, kind of gaze up towards the ceiling. Good. If you do have your arms overhead, bring it down behind the head. Good job. Walk those feet in so the toes are pointing straight ahead, lifting up out of those hips, slight bend those knees, and now we're going to bow forward, long spine, looking down towards the floor. We're getting ready for our next circuit coming up next. So this is a little bit of a warm up for that one. We call this a good morning, where we bow forward and standing tall. We're utilizing our arms on the back of the head this time, kind of opening the chest a little bit more, but you can also hold a little bit of a weight against the chest. And you could sub this for the deadlifts that we're getting ready for, if this feels more appropriate. Bowing forward and standing tall. Good. Let's go about one more here. Long spine, tall chest. Fantastic. And those of you that are here live, when you're doing those, if you could just turn your body so that you face away from the camera for a couple, and then I can give you a little bit better cues. So it's easier for me to see if you're going this way. There we go. Good. Thank you. Nice, Laura. You got it? Fantastic, ladies. All right, good. That looks great, Shirley. Good, Lou. Go ahead and bring that band or bar down. Sit on the floor. Let's grab our water. We're going to take a seat for a couple stretches before we move into this next circuit. When I say a couple, I should probably think at least 3. All right. Great job, everyone. So let's go ahead. I know I was feeling my shoulders already a little bit with that warm up. So let's kind of open up our head and neck a little bit. We're going to go palm up. If you have a soft cushion chair, you can sit on that palm and then set the shoulder back and down. If that's uncomfortable, just imagine setting that shoulder back and down. From here, you're going to sit up nice and tall. Pull that chin in like you're trying to make a double or a triple chin. And now you're going to look down and bring your chin over towards the left side of your body, assuming that you have your right hand pinned. You're going to take your left hand, reach up, and just fingertips ever so gently. You're going to gently pull that chin down. Imagine your fingertip is mimicking the weight of like a dime or a quarter on top of your head here. So whenever we're stretching our neck in that area, just be sensitive, be gentle. And then go ahead and release that. Come back up to center. Bring that hand down. Same thing other side. Set that shoulder back and down. Option to sit on the palm up to help traction that in. Pull that chin in, trying to make that triple chin. Bring that chin down to the chest, across towards your right collarbone. And then you'll use your right hand, just like a middle finger, ever so gently. Kind of back side, a little bit biased towards the left side of the head. And just inviting the back of that trap area, those upward traps. Go from like that upper shoulder area up into the back of the neck. One more breath here and gently release, bringing it back to neutral. All right, very good. One more for the neck. Imagine I was there in your living room and I'm going to come over and I'm going to grab your earlobe and I'm going to lift your ear straight up towards the ceiling. So you're going to think about lengthening the neck as you bring your ear towards that same side shoulder. Just kind of feel that stretch along the side here. Good, then bring the head to neutral. Same thing other side. Imagining we're lifting that ear up, kind of lengthening that side of the neck as you bring the ear towards the same side shoulder. Very good. Back to neutral. We're going to go one more time each side and add a gentle rotation. So think earlobe up towards the ceiling, dropping that head down while you're still lengthening the neck. And then just see if you can gently turn your eyes like you're trying to look up towards the ceiling as far as you can towards your right side. And just feel the front of the neck there. Good. Pull that chin in, back to neutral. Same thing, second side. Chin in, lengthen through the spine. Ear lifts up towards the ceiling. Pulling that chin in, turn those eyes, gently turn the chin, kind of looking over towards your left side. Those eyes are really key, kind of like seeing how far in that direction you can look. Maybe one more breath here and gently relax. All right, good job. Roll those shoulders around. Move that head any way it kind of is asking for. All right, before we jump up, we're gonna do one stretch, get a little bit of rotation for the mid back and shoulders once more. Let's take your right hand over to the left thigh. If you wanna go a little bit deeper, if it's comfortable, you can cross that leg over. Sitting tall here. We're gonna go left hand to the left shoulder, and now we're gonna turn our body, kind of pulling our body into our thigh as you turn your head. And then we're gonna imagine we've got like a nice cantaloupe or so here. We're going to try to trace the outline of that cantaloupe with our elbow to invite that shoulder blade to move up and down that torso. Still looking over that shoulder with the eyes. Continue to breathe. Let's go a couple more rotations here. Up and down, up and back. And release when you're ready. Very good. Same thing, opposite side. So we don't want to get slouched here. So we're lifting up, sitting as tall as you can. Left hand to the right thigh, option to cross that leg up and over, and right hand to the right shoulder. Pull yourself up and around, peering over that right shoulder, and then we're circling that elbow up, around, and back and down. Good. I've got my shoulder kind of popping and clicking just a little bit here as I keep it all moving. You know, ideally, we just don't want it to be painful when you have those pops and clicks. And you've got a lot of tendons and such all moving through that area. Turning the head, looking over that right shoulder as far as you can. Couple more. Breathe and release when you're ready. Good job. Uncross those legs if they're crossed. All right, if your water or beverage is nearby, grab a little drink. We're going to make our way back up to our feet. Okay. So we're getting ready for some deadlifts, or you could do those good morning. So if you have some weights that you can lift, you can go ahead and bring those over into your area. I'm going to set it down, and we're going to do a toe touch little stretch before we start. So make sure that you're not going to trip on your weights. Have your feet so that the toes are pointing straight ahead. Standing up tall out of the spine, hands on the thighs. Have just a little bend in your knees. From here, we're going to intentionally round the back. So a little bit different than when we do the movement. Chin to the chest, pull that belly button in, and now we're going to slide the hands down the legs. Good job. Not locking those knees, just gently reach down. See how far you're comfortable to reach here. So not forcing anything. You're okay to stay there for a moment. Try to take one nice deep breath into the back of the rib cage. Exhaled. See if your body wants to reach a little bit lower. And then when you're ready, push through your legs. Gradually start to make your way back up your body, tucking your hips under, kind of standing up one segment at a time. When you get up to the top, roll those shoulders back, standing tall. Beautiful. From here, cross those hands over the shoulders, slight bend in those knees, turning to the side so I can see your posture. And now we're going to bow forward, sending those hips back, looking down towards the floor. This is our good morning position. And then standing straight up from there. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Good. And just make sure you don't go too far down. So I want to go only as far as I can keep my back flat, not beyond about 90 degrees. Okay, so we don't want to drop down below that. Squeeze those glutes, standing tall. Fantastic. All right. Lou, I can't quite tell because you're kind of go out of the screen. So just make sure you're not going like so far down that you lose the position of your back, right? Better to have a good position than to lose that posture. Everybody else looks pretty solid there. All right. So I'm going to talk you through this first round. If you have weights that you're comfortable to pick up, I'm going to place them down like right between my feet. I'm holding one weight today. If on that toe touch, check in. If it was easy for you to get down to like your mid shin or ankle area, then it's probably appropriate for you to take the weight over all the way to the floor. If it's tough for you to touch your toes, maybe just go to about the level of your knees or your shins. So I'm sending my hips back, long spine, squeeze the glutes to stand. All right, we're going to work for 30 seconds. And then we're going to have like an overhead reach or just a support to the shoulder coming up next. When you're ready, standing tall, 2, 1, and here we go. Belly button pulled in, sending those hips back. Pick that weight up if you choose, squeezing the glutes. Good. Long spine, hips back. And I'm not demoing the best, mostly because I'm looking at the screen here, but for yourself, you want to have your head neutral, looking straight down. Good. There you go, Laura. Bowing forward, sending those hips back, but I'm also bending my knees just a little bit, pushing my knees out so I can keep that back flat. Squeeze the glutes as you stand. Maybe one more. Controlling down, keeping it close to my body, standing tall. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, we're going to do a stagger stance, overhead press or reach next. So depending upon your shoulders, your upper body, feel free to not hold any weights for this, okay? So we're going to step your left foot forward, right foot forward, step your left foot back. You can put your hand on the hip on that side, hand to the shoulder. If you do want to hold weights, feel free. I'm going to show the first round without. 2, 1, here we go. So we're going to just reach straight up and elbow comes forward as you lower down. Fantastic. Up and reach, elbow forward and down. Good. And as I'm reaching, I'm kind of cut off of the frame today. I'm thinking about keeping my hand close to my head. If you're holding a weight, it's like you want to think about trying to reaching up, holding that weight right over the center of your head. Good. Control down. Maybe one more. And rest. Good job. Walk that back foot in. Same thing, other side of the body. So set your left foot, step the right foot back. If you want to support the left hand on that left hip, bringing that weight up to the right shoulder. And 2, 1, here we go. Reaching up and controlling down. Nice. Beautiful. And you want to, as you reach up, you're not like over shrugging, but feel that shoulder blade kind of trying to glide along the rib cage. Reach high and low, relax it back down. So shoulder down out of the ear as you lower. Almost there. Reach, control down. Maybe one more. Up and rest. Fantastic. Go ahead and set the weights down if you are using them. We're going to grab a little drink, and then we're going to open up our chest with a behind the back stretch before the next round. And we're going to do that twice more. So if your water's convenient. Behind the back stretch, you're going to walk your feet about hip width apart. Make sure the front of your ribs aren't lifted up. So pull them down, engage that midline. Reaching behind the body. You can use a rope here or a towel as needed. Extend those elbows, lift that chest, and lift those arms up. Good. If you want to take in that forward fold, bend those legs, send those hips back, and then lifting those arms up. Pull that chin in towards the chest. 1 or 2 breaths here. And go ahead and come on back to standing. All right, relax those arms. We're gonna take about 20 seconds and then we'll be back to set 2 with the deadlifts. If you wanna hold a little bit more weights, you can still either go between the legs or I'm gonna show it with a weight in each hand this round. My feet a little bit closer. So imagine I'm holding like some grocery bags here. That's how I'm gonna hold this time. Standing tall, 2, 1. When you're ready, slight bend in those knees as you bow forward, keeping those weights close to the sides of your body so they're right along my legs. You can go to knee height or all the way down to the shins, to the floor if appropriate, but especially if you have some smaller weights, I recommend going more like mid-shin to knee height. Squeeze the glutes as you stand, pulling that belly button in as you bow forward, over and up, shoulders back, maybe one more. Bowing forward, nice, really good, smooth rhythm. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Shaking it out. Coming into that overhead press next. We're going to start with the weight on the left side of the body, or you can go unweighted here as well. You're going to step your, sorry, I always mess this up. Left foot back, right hand on the right hip. 2, 1, when you're ready. Press and reach, elbow forward. Good. And anyone that's like already been pretty tight in the upper body, if you want to maybe not do any more pressing overhead, you still get benefit just to hold some weight here at the shoulder. So you can hold, we call it that front rack position. In CrossFit, we hold a barbell in the front of the body and it makes a rack for the bar. So that's why it's called a front rack. Front of the body, rack for the dumbbell or the bar. After you finish that rep, go ahead and rest. Same thing, opposite side. So you're going to bring the weight into your right side. You step your right leg back, left hand on the left hip. 2, 1, and here we go. Nice and smooth. Press, lower down. Good. It's our second arm of set 2. We're going to be going 3 sets total. Continue to breathe. Eyes looking straight ahead. Keep that head up. There you go. Good. Pull that chin in. I'm going to try to keep that head stacked right over your hips. 1 or 2 more. Press, control, and rest. Beautiful. And set that down for a second. Shake out those arms. And we're going to do a couple of torso rotations like we did earlier in the hour. So arms across the shoulders. Bow down to those legs, lengthen through that neck. So just imagine, like, how long can I have my neck? And now we'll turn the torso and the head over to one side, back to center, and over to the other side. I like to breathe in as I recenter my body, and then exhale as I take my body into that rotation. Breathe in, back to center, exhale as you rotate. Good. Once you balance yourself out side to side, relax those arms down. Just kind of shake it out. Shake the arm, shake the wrist. Woo. All right, grab a drink. If you're up for a third round, we're going to go here in 20 seconds. I'm going to demo once again with one weight on each hand. If you have just a single weight, you can always go between the legs also. All right, standing tall, toes pointing straight ahead, and begin when you're ready. Belly button pulled in, bowing forward, looking down, pushing through your legs, squeezing the glute to stand. You can just imagine we're practicing picking up grocery bags, laundry baskets, small children, small dogs. Pull that belly button in as you bow forward, bracing that midline, squeeze those glutes, trying to stack your shoulders, head and neck right over top of your hips. Fantastic. Let's go 1 or 2 more. Bowing down, standing tall, and last one. Over, up, and rest. Good. You got a little more than 30 seconds on that one. Set those weights down, and then just decide for yourself. Does it feel right for your shoulders to do one more overhead press? Do you tend to get sore from that? If you tend to get sore, just give it a break. Join us again on the next exercise. All right, otherwise, left arm, left foot steps back, right hand on your right hip. 2, 1, when you're ready. Glide it up and elbow forward as you lower. So if you are facing me, imagine you want to kind of point your elbow straight at the computer screen. Driving that arm up. Elbow point straight forward. Fantastic. And then as I push high, I'm thinking about bringing that hand or my weight straight over the top of my head. Good. Reach, lower, maybe 1 or 2 more. Up, down, and 2, 1. Rest and rotate. Good job. Walk that back leg in. Switching sides. Hand on the right, and left hand to that left hip, right foot step back. 2, 1, when you're ready, driving it up, elbow forward, controlling it down. Fantastic. Think about pulling that chin in as well. We tend to let that head shoot forward, so chin in, trying to stack that head and shoulders straight over the hips. Nice, good smooth reach, everyone. Less than 10 seconds, couple more. Reach, control down, and 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, beautiful job. Set those weights down, grab your drink, and let's take a seat for a moment. All right. Seated in the chair, we're going to do our mid-back rotations. So you're going to bring your hand behind the head. I just sit on the edge of the chair so I can have my feet flat. And we're going to go elbow, kind of round yourself forward, pulling the belly button in, bringing it towards the opposite thigh. As you come up to neutral, sit tall, and then you're going to rotate peering over that same side. About 5 or so reps here. Down, breathing in, exhale, breathing out. You want to practice pausing in that open position. So exhale, looking over, pause, and then into the next one. Down, up, and rotate. Maybe one more. Down, up, and rotate. Very good. Relax that arm down. Just kind of loosen those shoulders up a little bit, up into the ears, back and down, really emphasizing that back and down. Pull them like you're trying to touch those shoulder blades together. Good. Fantastic. All right. Same thing, opposite side, hand behind the head, sitting tall, pulling that belly button in, bringing it towards that opposite leg. And then as I come back up, I re-emphasize that tall posture as I rotate, looking over that elbow. Looking towards that elbow. I guess you can look over the elbow or past the elbow, turning the eyes as well about 5 times here. Breathe in as you tuck forward. Exhale into that rotation. All right, last one. And release. Wonderful job. Let's open up the hips just a little bit. We're getting ready for some squatting options or some sit stand in the next round. So let's take your left leg, pulling it up and in, shoulders down. If you can cross that left foot over the right leg, and then we're going to pull the knee and thigh in towards the opposite side of the torso. So I'm looking to try to target this outer hip area. Really easy to get slouched up here. So still think shoulders back, chest tall. I know I say it a lot because we have to just be mindful of that. When we're working on our computers, driving in our cars, it tends to pull everything forward. So we got to reset that, pull everything back. All right, go ahead and relax that side down. Same thing, opposite foot, sitting tall, up and in. If you can cross that foot over, and now we're looking to lengthen through the head and neck as you pull that knee in and across the body. All right, fantastic. And then we're going to set that guy down. And then we're going to make our way up to standing. We're going to move into a quad stretch next. This is one of the harder ones we do. So if you can't quite get that, you can mimic, remember that hip flexor stretch we did earlier in the hour? You can do that as a replacement. Otherwise, just do the best you can. So go ahead and make your way up to your feet. You can grab that foot. You can either balance on something or extra credit if you feel secure enough to balance without holding on, but make sure you're ready for that. If you can grab the foot with the same side hand. Very good. We're going to look to hold for about 20 seconds. Remember, it's my job to make it look easy. Continue to check in with that head position. I found myself slouching forward. So chin in, sit tall, or stand tall, and relax that leg down. Very good. If you're doing that hip flexor opening, step the other foot back. Or here, lifting up, looking to grab that opposite foot, pulling it up and in. All right, fantastic. That's a little over 10 seconds. Anytime you need to shake it out, come on out. Otherwise, 3, 2, 1, and release that side down. All right, if you have a doorway nearby, a countertop you can hold on to, you don't need to hold on to anything for your squats, that's great as well. We're gonna go into our squat sit to open up those hips, improve that range of motion. I'm gonna walk my feet just about hip width apart, and just imagine if I had a clock on the ground here. I'm gonna point one toe at 1 o'clock, one toe at 11 o'clock. From here, I'm gonna hold on to support the upper bodies. And then as I hold on, I'm going to send the hips back, but different than those deadlifts, you want to try to keep the chest tall. So we got to keep that eyes up, pushing the knees out. See if you can get those hips down about the height of the knees. As far as you can, keeping your weight on the heels. And when you're ready, push those legs and come on back to standing. Holding on for support 2 to 3 times here. Sinking back. See if you can get just a little bit lower each time. And then really think about pushing your feet into the ground. Push those feet down as you come back up. Beautiful. Call it there, or one more if you've got it. Hanging on, sitting back, controlling down, and making your way back up. Beautiful. All right, if you're feeling pretty good in your squats today, you can go unweighted, reaching your arms up as you lower down. If you prefer the assist of like a box or a chair, then please feel free to kind of come to the edge of the chair, and you'll lower down to the chair and stand from there. That rhymes. Sitting back and opening the hips, okay? And now this is also the section. Remember, we talked about getting those long bands out. If you have one of those long TheraBands, we're going to utilize that for the second exercise. And our third exercise is going to be a weighted march, or if you don't have weights you want to hold, you can also do that march and punch across the body. If you have weights that you can hold, we're going to hold them in the sides and march the legs. Okay. All righty. Let me know if there's questions. Otherwise, we're going to start it here in about 20 seconds. Rep count, it says 6 to 12 for the first exercise. I'm going to work for about 30 seconds, and we're going to do about 3 rounds total. All right, so I'm going to demo the first round, squatting to the chair. Set those feet about hip width apart, eyes looking straight ahead. 2, 1, here we go. Reaching back, feet planted, standing tall. Excellent. Controlling down, driving those knees wide. Beautiful. Those of you that are more experienced with those squats, if you want to hold weights while you do this, maybe if not this round, you can always hold some weights on the later rounds. Good. Control down, stand tall, 1 or 2 more. And rest and rotate. Very good. Go ahead and grab your band if you have it, and we're going to take a seat. You can either sit in the chair or sit on the floor. It's going to be our alternating banded row. So lengthen out your band and pick a foot. You're going to put it around 1 foot. Sitting up nice and tall, I'm going to have my arms nice and extended, and then I'm going to go 1 arm in, elbow in, reach forward, and then the opposite side. Good. So long head and neck position here. Squeeze that shoulder blade back and in. And I'm just gently rotating my palm to activate a little bit of the bicep here. So I rotate my palm up towards the ceiling as I row that elbow back and in. Breathe in to reach, exhale to row. Good, moving well here. It's good practice also. You can kind of pause as you pull that shoulder blade back and down. We're working on that mid-back strength, mid-back posture, help keep ourselves nice and upright. Good, maybe 1 or 2 more on each arm. Very good, and relax. Go ahead and come on out of that. If you've done a lot of walking this morning and you want to break off your legs, you could do the alternating elbow towards the opposite knee from the chair. That would be an option. Otherwise, join me on your feet. Either that march and punch, or I'm going to hold a little bit of weight here, like you're carrying some heavier grocery bags. Send those shoulders back and down, standing tall when you're ready. Knees up, feet up, and up to you how comfortable you feel. Raising those legs nice and high. You can either march in place or move around your area. Especially those of you holding weights here, want to check in with that posture. So roll those shoulders back, lift that chest, eyes looking straight ahead. Fantastic, great positioning, good. Nice high knee lift there. Fantastic, maybe 1 or 2 more. Woo, lost a little balance. 2, 1, and everybody rest. All right, we're gonna take about 30 seconds, shake it out. Grab a little bit of drink. We're gonna go back to our squats. We're gonna go either maybe 1, at most 2 more rounds. All right, when you're ready, if you wanna hold a little bit of weight this time, even if you're squatting to the chair, you can hold it right up underneath the chin. Set those feet about hip width apart, and 2, 1, here we go. Keeping the weight into the heels as you send those hips back, pushing into those legs as you stand. Very good. Looking straight ahead the whole time. Eyes up and head up. Fantastic. Sinking back. Standing tall. Watching that those knees don't dive in. Sometimes you'll keep them out on the up or on the down. And sometimes as we start to stand up, even out of the chair, those knees will drop in. So just notice your patterns. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Seated row, alternating arms. Grab the band, make your way to the chair, or you can sit down on the floor. If you happen to remember which foot you had your band around, I know I kind of forget. Try to go around the opposite foot, sitting tall, and here we go. Palms are facing down to the floor with outstretched arms. I rotate that palm up towards the ceiling or sky as I pull it in. Back and down, reaching forward. Good. We end up working about 40 to 45 seconds on this second exercise. We had about 30 seconds on the squats. Let's take about 30 seconds or so on that weighted march. I like to get a little bit longer focused here today on this alternating row. A couple more each side. Two, 1, and rest when you're ready. Fantastic. All right. Let's just have this be our final march, and then we'll do one more round of the squats and that seated row. March and punch if you don't want to hold any weights. If you want to add a little extra weight to the activity, I'd like ideally balancing both hands, shoulders back and down. Rotate those palms forward if you're holding some weight, and marching it out here. Think about keeping your shoulders, head and neck stacked right over those hips. Continue to pull those shoulder blades back, palms slightly turned forward. And as we're lifting the knees and the feet, lifting those toes, kind of activating the ankle. And watch that we don't let those hips kick out. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. Set it down. We're going to take about 30 seconds. So if you have your water glass or water bottle nearby, get a little more hydration. And then we're going to do, like I said, the squats and the seated row. And then we'll finish with our cool down stretch. If you're like, hey, I'm just ready for that cool down stretch, or you've had enough of the squats, you can always just do the seated row or just wait for those stretches. This is all just optional work. I just guide it through. You do what's best for you. All right, last round of squats. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Feel free to squat to your chair or without. Controlling down, not letting yourself just drop down there. Using your muscles. You build strength, and as you control down, trying to sit softly if you're going into that chair. And then generating that force to stand tall. So pushing your legs into the ground, standing up. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Controlling down, standing tall. Beautiful. Good, everyone. 2, 1, and final rotation. Good job. Grab your long band if you have it. If you don't, mimic along as if you do. Taking a seat in the chair. I was on my right foot last time. Go to my left. All right, we're going to go 45 seconds here. Palms down, neck long, shoulders back. And when you're ready, rotating that palm up, pulling that band straight into the side of the torso. Setting that shoulder blade back and in. Like you're trying to touch it into the spine. Breathe in to reach. Exhale to row. Good. 20 seconds left. Very nice. Maybe 1 or 2 more each side. Elbow back and in. Reach it forward. Back and in. Reach. Balance myself out and rest. Woo! Fantastic. Great work, everyone. Go ahead and relax that band down. We're going to do a couple stretches here from the seated position, and then we'll call it a day. All right, sitting nice and tall, we're going to do our tricep side bend. So you're going to reach your right arm straight up, pull that chin in, bend that elbow. You're gonna reach around, grab that elbow, and then make sure you're nice and secure through your legs. So you can step the feet a little bit wider if you need that better base. You can stay tall through your head and neck. You're gonna gently bend to the side. Breathe in as you come up to center, and then exhale. Good. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, lengthen. One more. And release those arms down. All right. Second side, reaching up, chin in, bend that elbow. And here we go. Fantastic. About 5 total here. Continue to try to lengthen. How tall can I sit? Try to make that triple chin with your head so you don't get into that forward head position. One more, and bring those arms down. All right. Figure 4 stretch for the hips. Let's take your right leg, pull that knee up towards the chest, looking to cross that foot over. If you can, you're going to invite that knee to drop down, looking to open up that hip. Sit nice and tall here. Option to gently rest that hand on the knee. Good, great time. Close the eyes, relax. It's always fantastic to be able to connect with you all, but it'd always be better to be in person and not staring through the screen. So give your eyes a break from looking at that screen. We're gonna hold about another 15 seconds here. If that hip is starting to loosen and open a little bit more, if you don't really feel a stretch, just sit tall and gently lean forward, and then you'll probably feel it a little bit more. Very good. When you're ready, go ahead and gently come out of that, pulling that knee up and in, setting it down. And let's go same thing, other side. Trying to work that foot above the knee if you can get it. If you can't, just do the best you can. Invite that knee to drop down. Sit tall out of your sit bones, the bones that rest on the chair. If you'd like to set that left hand on the left knee, we're going to hold about 30 seconds here. Pull that chin in, lengthen through the spine, and invite you to close those eyes as you breathe. If you're comfortable to breathe in and out the nose here, let's go about another 10 seconds. And when you're ready, make your way out of that stretch and set that foot down. All right, final one. We'll give a little bit more love to that low back, feet flat on the ground, hands on the thighs. Pull that belly button in, and I'm just going to gently slide the hands down, and you determine how far down do you want to reach. Use your upper body to kind of control that distance. Pull that chin in towards your chest. And then focus your breathing into that area that you feel stiffness. So I'm trying to send some breath all the way to that low back, expanding the back of the rib cage. On the exhale, if you want to drop just a little bit lower, maybe 1 or 2 more. Breathe in. And out. Probably in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last breath. And when you're ready, gradually walk your hands on the legs. Bring yourself back up to that seated position. Woo, center yourself. If you feel a little bit dizzy here, just take a moment. And then from here, it's just whatever else you might feel like your body's asking for. If you want to rotate, if you want to side bend, if your head and neck feel a little bit stiff. You know, ideally here in these classes, my goal for you is to learn different movements that feel good for your body so that you can do it not just when we're meeting, but also stretch on your own when you're not in class, when you just kind of feel stiff. Move your body around, see where you can loosen up and start to feel a little bit better. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here today. Stay hydrated, stay grounded, do something that you enjoy, and we'll look to see you next time.